Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Excuse me. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning. Down, 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 down.
Frogs are flying around this morning.
Uh-oh.
Good to have you folks along. It's down to 17.
But above, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's the good news.
Yes.
It's 17 above. It was 21 and 2 earlier this morning, and then dropped down here just right after 7 o'clock, and clear sky and 17, just barely holding on to it. A little slick out there in spots. The crews are doing a great job.
Fantastic.
But
yep. Thank you.
Can't get it all out there with a storm like this, so sheltered areas. I noticed, the road, Memorial Drive, past the country club in. I took that into yesterday, and it's just not going to melt for a while. It's cleared, but it's just not going to melt for a while. And there's a lot of roads like that, country roads, side roads in the communities are getting clean, but still a lot of work to do yet. So a lot of work going on yesterday.
Yeah.
So... And as Mike Evans mentioned, a lot of work going on out in the country.
Oh, sure.
You know, getting to the cattle and feeding them and trying not to get stuck. And, yeah. Snow can make you a little angry sometimes, but it is a good thing. You got something on your phone there?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. There's just a few schools that are going with late starts today.
Man, I forgot all about that.
So we'll mention those for you. Just 3 is what we have on our list. Anselmo Myrna showing a late start today at 10 o'clock. No morning preschool or breakfast. Buses will run accordingly. Luke County Public Schools in Taylor showing a 10 o'clock start today. No preschool or breakfast. Buses run accordingly. And Sargent Public Schools going with a 10 o'clock start today. Buses run accordingly. No preschool or breakfast. And that's what's on our list, anyway, as to what we've been informed of.
Thank you for bringing that up. I totally spaced that off this morning. I got going in another direction and forgot what I was doing.
That's okay. There's a lot on a person's mind when you get here to open up the place.
Yes, I scared my wife this morning.
How did you do that?
I didn't mean to. Maybe that's... I thought, Joan's going to go get groceries today. She has some errands to run.
Okay.
And that means she's going to be out and about, really, for the first time since the storm. So
Sure.
I thought... In her car, the windows were all iced up, and I thought, I'll just take her car. She can use the Acadia, gets around really well, and she can throw the groceries in there, and she can run her errands, and I'll get things thought out with her car because it's been sitting since the storm.
Well, that just seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, and then I get a call here along about 6:30 or so, and she was like, I woke up, I looked out the upstairs bathroom window, and the car was gone. I thought you had fallen, and grabbed the car, and I didn't know what happened. And I thought, I didn't even think that would be something that she would think was, a potential accident.
Yeah.
So I guess she still likes me. That's the good news.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But, I even took out her cloth grocery bags and put them on the table because she likes to use those. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, I think we do. And occasionally, if I remember to take, I need to be better at just remembering to take them.
Look for the ones, Brent, and folks out there. Joan found these. I don't know where she found them, but they're reinforced. In other words, they fold up flat.
Okay.
They're a cloth bag. They fold up flat because they have reinforcement panels in the cloth. Mm-hmm. And then when you set them down, you open them up, and they're more like a cloth box.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And boy, they're great. You can,
Nice.
you don't have to worry about tipping over like the bags do. Mm-hmm. And they're really, really sturdy, and they store really, really better than the regular bags. Mm-hmm. Just a grocery store tip for you.
Well,
And it's so much better if we can remember to do that, like you say, to not go home and then go, now what do I do with these plastic bags I see hanging on the fences when I drive down the roadway? Because they're all over the place, unfortunately. They get away from people. But, yeah, those are really good.
Okay.
Just a tip for you.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a thank you note from Mom and Dad in Arkansas.
Did you?
Maybe I should just say Mom. I'm not sure Jim wants to be. Anyway, I'll bring that in later. It was very nice.
Oh, well, great. Talked to Mom and Dad yesterday, and that was Mom's first question. Do you know if Dave got my thank you?
Well, I just opened it up yesterday.
Now I can say he did.
Late morning, Mom, a.k.a. Peg, and it was very nice what you said. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. And I went up and seen my mom, Corky, Marion, yesterday.
How's Mom doing?
She's doing good. Yeah.
Got all dug out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff Flaster's so nice. He goes up there and helps Mom out. And my
Jeff's a good guy.
Yeah. And he also, I think, checked on my Aunt Gracella to make sure. Got to have the post people, by the way, won't deliver your mail if they can't get your mailbox, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, well, I felt bad. I went out and got the mail yesterday. I'd take the screwdriver and chip away the ice in order to open the door to get into my mailbox.
Yeah.
So, yeah, postal workers, Brent's mailbox is now to where you can open it.
Yeah, that's good. If they're going to get up there to put it in, and if your walk is not scooped to your mailbox, they don't have to put it in, and I don't think a lot of times they do, and I don't blame them. They don't slip and fall and hurt themselves.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you, Jeff Flaster. He helped Mom out.
Good.
And my Aunt Gracella. And, very nice.
People help. We talked about this the other day. When you get situations like this, especially with the snowfall and everything, it just turns into almost a community effort.
It does.
To just get everybody out and going.
You're right on there.
Yeah.
Brent. You want to do? What do you want to do? We're going to have
do you want to do school lunch menus?
We can.
I think everybody's kind of going to be back at it in some form or fashion today. So we'll take a look at them. Now, let's see. I got to make sure I'm on the right day here. The 5th, right, is today, January 5th?
Yes.
All right, Anselmo Myrna today. Again, Anselmo Myrna on our list of showing a 10 o'clock start today. But for lunch, they're showing a made-fresh cheeseburger macaroni skillet with garlic breadstick, popcorn chicken with garlic breadstick, and fresh-baked ham and cheese subs. Some of the choices at Anselmo Myrna today.
At Thedford, teriyaki chicken with rice.
Callaway today showing tacos for lunch at Callaway today.
Broken Bow Middle School, High School. Got to get on the right day here. Monday, Wednesday. There we go. Fresh cheeseburgers, macaroni skillet with garlic breadstick, popcorn chicken with garlic breadstick, fresh baked ham and cheese subs, cottage cheese and fruit platter, grill station combo, and green beans, and 1% unflavored milk, a chocolate skim milk, and strawberry skim milk.
Strawberry milk?
Yeah.
I don't think that was ever a choice for me growing up.
I don't think so. That's been a long time ago.
I would have had that. Litchfield today, roast beef on the menu for lunch at Litchfield.
Today at Sandhills Dunning, it's barbecued meatballs, scalloped potatoes, and broccoli. And let me peel this sheet off here. They don't always peel off as easy as you might think, folks. This is not an easy job. While you guys are out there feeding your cattle.
Yeah. We're complaining about pieces of paper sticking together and the difficulty of reading a school lunch menu while
You're chipping water out of the
guys
tank.
and gals are trying to keep the water tank open for the cattle and trying to get to tough-to-go places to get them fed. Eek.
That was not a good statement.
No.
Ansley today, it's a Chinese menu today
All right.
at Ansley. And at the Prairie Pioneer Center, they're having scalloped potatoes, ham, spinach, and strawberries. And that's your menus. And you want to go through those 10 o'clock starts again. I apologize for
Sure.
not getting those on earlier. I
That's all
totally
right.
spaced that off.
Let's see. Hang on.
Sorry.
That's all right. I got to bring him back up on my phone here. Well, it was Anselmo Myrna, Sargent, and Loup County.
Okay.
And let's see. Let me just kind of do the little refresh thing. And, yep, that's what's showing right now. Anselmo Myrna, Loup County Public Schools, and Taylor Sargent Public Schools showing a 10 o'clock start for today.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Birthdays today. Local birthdays. Janice Noziska.
All right. Happy birthday.
Doesn't say how old, but just looking at the picture, she looks like she's about,
22?
I was going to say 23.
Oh, okay. Close.
Brian Thornton is celebrating a birthday today. Leanne DeRee celebrating a birthday today. She's a wonderful lady. Formerly a Call. She's from the Call family.
Oh,
Wonderful people. Barry Dobish, son of Jan and Greg Dobish, is celebrating a birthday today. He's out in Colorado. He's a chef
cool.
up in the mountains. Doug Shin celebrating a birthday today.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Doug.
And Dee Hansen celebrating a birthday today. And I don't know if I'll get this name right. I think you know Rachel Fama or Fama.
I don't know.
She is celebrating a birthday today. She looks like she's about 23, somewhere in there.
Good. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You're celebrating with Diane Keaton.
Oh, actress.
She's 77 today.
I was going to say, I was wondering how old she was.
She's been around a while. Her big role that got her fame or noticed was she was Michael Corleone's wife in The Godfather.
Oh,
That was her first big. She won an Oscar for Annie Hall and starred in Something's Gotta Give, The Family Stone, and The Book Club.
she did a neat little. It was kind of a family film. It was called Baby Boom.
Oh, really?
It was what, maybe the 80s, I'm guessing. It's a cute film.
Didn't see
I
it.
remember from that.
Robert Duvall, who also was in
yeah.
The Godfather, is celebrating his 92nd birthday today.
Really?
Yeah. He was the lawyer, Tom Hagen, in the Godfather film. That's where he really got noticed as well. And he's had many films since then.
Your favorite Robert Duvall character?
Well, his character's kind of the same in a number of films. I thought he was really good in the stock car film.
Oh, Days of Thunder with
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. He
Yeah.
was good in that.
Yeah, but he played that kind of character in some
Yeah.
other shows as well. I don't know if I have a favorite. He's always really good. He's a great actor.
For me, Augustus McCrae, man,
Oh, okay.
on Lonesome Dove.
Lonesome Dove.
Oh,
yeah.
man, he was just awesome in that.
Yep, he was.
Open Range with Kevin. Hey,
That was a good one.
I like when Robert Duvall plays a cowboy.
Yeah,
I'll
was-
just say it.
That was a crazy film.
Yeah.
Man. First
Did you
cup.
notice we each took a sip of coffee at the exact same time and didn't really know it?
That's serendipity.
Wow.
Chris Stein is 73, is the co-founder and guitarist of the Hall of Fame band Blondie.
Oh,
And Clancy Brown is 64, played Byron Hadley in Shawshank Redemption, which was also a very good film.
yeah, it was a good film.
Yeah. So if you're celebrating a birthday today, you are celebrating with those stars. It's also, by the way, National Bird Day,
Oh, good.
honoring birds.
Okay.
And how can you honor them this time of year is feed them.
I was going to say, give
Yeah.
them something to eat.
They're pretty cool. Birds are pretty neat. And I don't know if you notice this or not, but if you look at airplanes, They're kind of modeled after birds.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We kind of got the idea to fly from birds.
I don't know why birds and planes make me think, but did you see the moon today?
I did not.
Oh, wow. I caught it as I was driving out. Gorgeous. Just
Nice.
gorgeous. Big,
wish I would've got
full
that.
and bright.
I'm missing everything today.
On a snow-covered morning, look up, see the moon. I thought it was brilliant anyway.
Man,
So, yeah.
maybe
Take a
it
peek
wasn't.
at it if you
maybe it
still
wasn't
can.
showing through yet, but it was a clear sky. I think. Man, I'm missing the whole world here
Yeah.
today. Ever since I stole my wife's car. What is Grant? What is
I'm glad she didn't call the cops right away and say somebody stole my car.
There was some other times in our marriage that she probably wanted to call the cops. I don't think this morning was one of those moments.
Okay, well, good.
But Grant, what are you doing here so early in the morning?
Grant's here already?
He was here yesterday morning.
Wow,
You are busy,
man, you gonna give us a heads up when you're gonna start showing up early. That way, one of us will show up late.
Yeah. Well, we're working on teaching Grant the early shift, and he's come out once, and we'll get him out
Oh,
here
has he?
again. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but I don't know what he's doing here
Yeah.
yesterday.
Dedicated employee.
He's a
That's
good
what
boy.
he is.
He's a good employee. Let's see.
Grant, for the month of January, you have just been named Employee of the Month at KCNI KBBN. Nothing comes with that, but we're going to name you Employee of the Month anyway.
Grant Winterer, Employee of the Month at KCNI KBBN.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're handing out that title so
Cut-
early in January?
oh yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I do believe you're the first Employee of the Month ever at
Yeah.
KCNI
We've never
KBBN.
had one
I don't think
before.
we've ever had one till just now.
Wow, all right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
After dealing with Christy yesterday about scooping snow, you may get it again next week. Well,
I'll put in my nomination for February right
Yeah.
now.
boy, I'm glad we called in the crew yesterday. I don't know if you noticed or not, but we, because the salespeople basically refused to scoop the drifted lot yesterday, we had to bring in a special crew to clean it up because they would not do it. That particular business or crew came in from Oshkosh.
Wow.
They came up from Oshkosh,
Man, what a drive.
and it's the SSR,
Oh. Okay.
Super Snow Removal.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they did a good
I
job.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they did spray some snow around a little bit when they were blowing the snow around to hit some of the cars, but
Yeah, well, listen, you just got to throw the snow wherever you can throw it.
yeah, especially when sales staff
You
wouldn't
know?
do it.
And if it lands on somebody's car, it just happens.
Too bad, so sad. That's what I say. It's about 10 minutes before the hour, and we're going to be hearing from Christy's younger sister in just a little bit. From
Wonderful.
Dave Davis and Farmers National. Anything else we needed to announce here this morning that I'm forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting about everything today.
Well, I don't think we played the game yet.
Well,
you want to do that?
For crying out loud. What is happening?
I don't know, Dave.
I'll never steal my wife's car again.
Just kind of put a whole bunch of things in motion today, didn't it?
guess
Just
so.
All right. We are asking questions about. Well, this is National Hobby Month.
Oh.
January is. So do you have what you would consider a hobby?
Yeah, I think so. I consider fishing a hobby.
Yeah.
And when I get a chance to golf, that's kind of a hobby.
Oh, okay.
Is it, or is that a pastime?
I don't
that's
know.
a pastime, maybe.
Yeah.
Hobbies like when you carve wood or.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of those kinds of hobbies is kind of what I had in mind.
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess I don't really have one.
Yeah, I don't really do either, and I got to be honest, I kind of feel bad about it.
I think they tell you as you go through
'Cause it
life,
would
you
be
need
good
to
to
get
have
one. You need to get one so that someday when you can't do anything else, you can do your hobby.
Yeah, there you go. Is watching sports on television a hobby?
No, that's an addiction.
Oh, Yeah. And my wife is shaking her head yes on that one. Okay, here's today's question. Photography, that would be certainly considered a hobby.
Yeah.
In photography, what term is given to a lens that makes a subject appear closer in the picture than they actually were when the picture was taken?
Say that again.
All right, you're taking a picture.
Okay.
All right. What term is given to a lens that makes a subject appear closer in the picture than they actually were when the picture was taken?
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
Your choices are a fisheye lens, a telephoto lens, a contact lens.
Way to go, Joan.
Yeah, that's a good choice, Joan. Thanks. Or a wide-angle lens. In photography, what term is given to a lens that makes a subject appear closer in the picture than they actually were when the picture was taken? Fisheye lens, telephoto lens, contact lens, or a wide-angle lens? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
Don't let pain get you down in the new year. Visit Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Arthritis Pain Topical Gel is $8.99. And Asper Cream Max Strength and Ice Hot Max are marked at $8.99 as well. 100-count extra strength pain reliever caplets are $9.99. Or pick up low-dose aspirin in a 300-count for $3.99. Varney Health Mart looks forward to being assistance to you in the new year. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, Palmer Monument Company is giving you one more good reason: their annual winter sale. Come and see them today with the coupon from the newspaper and receive additional savings off their already reduced prices.
Hi, this is Chris Smith with the Palmer Monument Company. It's our goal to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs. And with our sale, we'll save you money too.
During the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company in Lexington and Broken Bow.
And we have Catherine on the line. Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Kind of snowed in, but
Oh, boy.
okay.
You have plenty to eat for you and all your feathered friends?
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, this is, by the way, Catherine, I'm glad you called. This is National Bird Day.
Yeah?
You want more? It's a plane. No, wait.
No.
It's a bird. Our wing friends.
Yes, I know. They need water besides the food.
That's
Oh, yeah.
important, yes.
Yes, I have a water out here that I have heated for them. But I don't feed them so much because there's lots of grass and weed seeds and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of a good point, Catherine, because I don't know why, because they have beaks and you don't see them, gulping down water or lapping up like a dog does. You don't think about that as often, but they need water just like any other animal or bird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have swarms of them here, so.
Oh, boy. Well, here's your question.
Okay, Catherine, in photography, what term is given to a lens that makes a subject appear closer in the picture than they actually were when the picture was taken? Fisheye, go ahead. Fisheye.
Wide lens.
Well, no. Okay, yeah. When
You're breaking up, Catherine. Did you say telephoto lens? You're breaking up there.
Yeah, here's the choices: fisheye, telephoto. I'll emphasize that one: telephoto.
Okay.
Contact or wide angle. What do you think?
Telephone.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, way to go! And Catherine, because you've answered correctly, we got a certificate for you here that'll get you a free 6-inch sub at Subway in Broken Bow. So just come on out and see us when you can.
Okay, can you give that to Julie Kemp?
Sure.
Sure, I'll put Julie's name on it. You bet.
That's nice
She'll
of you.
She'll be in this week to pick it up, and I won't be, so
Okay.
Okay.
That's
just
fine.
give it to her.
And on your behalf, Catherine, the telephoto lens is the correct answer, but what'd you say, the wide angle? That also, in a way, brings the subjects a little closer, too. So I think you were in the ballpark there.
Oh, okay.
All
Well,
right.
I make mistakes sometimes.
Oh, we all do. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you so much. You too.
All right, bye. Yeah, the fisheye and the
Well, you would know because
Yeah.
you were a photographer.
yeah, the wide angle lets you get closer to the subject. So in a way, you're bringing them in the picture
Yeah.
closer. You can get more in, but you can also get closer. So the telephoto draws them in. So 2 different applications.
Wow. Okay.
If you really want to get deep, I'll get into depth of field for you. Man, that's a good one. That gets you excited.
Is it time for the Dave Davis report yet?
Yeah, I think we better.
Okay,
I think
good.
we better do that.
Dave and Brent.
You two guys.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
Happy New Year to everybody. This is Kathy Eberly reporting for Dave Davis Auction Service and Farmers National Company. To start with, we are having a farm auction in February. If you'd like more information on that, you can call our office or talk to Jim, and we will have more information as time goes on. Going over to Farmers National side, we have a listing at 153 South F Street. Has lots to offer. It's a 2-story. It sits on a large lot with mature trees, nice sized living room with a fireplace, formal dining space, kitchen has space for a breakfast nook, 3/4 bath off of the kitchen. Upstairs has 3 bedrooms, full bathroom, and a sunroom. The lower level has a utility room, family room, and lots of storage. Lots of original hardwood floors, all electric home with a heat pump around 5 years old, mostly pillow windows throughout, detached garage, has home office, workshop area, and a tandem garage for 2 vehicles with alley access on openings on both ends. That's at 153 South F Street. At 1242 South D Street, this one has an old-time charm. This home has beautiful woodwork throughout, large foyer leading into a parlor with open staircase, French doors, and beautiful hardwood floors. Formal dining room has patio doors out to the backyard. Cute kitchen has lots of cabinets and counter space, built-in microwave and double ovens. Main floor also has a den, office, and a half bathroom. Upstairs has a full bathroom with laundry and 4 bedrooms. Master bedroom has a balcony and master bathroom, located on a corner lot with utility shed and fenced-in backyard with privacy fence. Detached double garage has its own heater. Shingles are brand new, and this home's exterior was just painted. Come see the charm at 1242 South D Street. At 452 22nd Avenue, this is an awesome location. This home is within 1/2 mile from city limits, sitting on 1.7 acres. Living room and dining room have large picture windows for lots of sunshine. Informal and formal dining. Family room off of the kitchen has exposed beams and a fireplace. Main floor has an office, 4 bedrooms, and 2.5 bathrooms. Master bedroom has a master bathroom and walk-in cedar closet. Main floor laundry room has a sink and extra storage. Lower level has a large family room, 5th bedroom, and lots of storage. Attached 2-car garage and underground sprinklers. Open front shed has 2 stall areas and a tack room. The shingles were new in 2018. Lots of room in this brick ranch-style home. This home is within 1/2 mile from city limits, sitting on 1.7 acres at 452 22nd Avenue. And then in Ansley, we do have a building. It was formerly used as a Ginny M. Melham Memorial Medical Building. The location is 706 Main Street. It's 2250 square foot building. And like I said, it was last used as a medical clinic and was just had a resurfaced roof. That's at 706 Main Street in Ansley. At 474 Crawford Street in Mason City, we have a full-service firearms store. Purchase price includes the firearms, the ammo, the inventory, the business laptop, shelving, furniture, office equipment, and printer. GunSense, formerly known as Cooper's Corner, was established in 2017, has greatly expanded with suppressor night vision, thermal equipment. GunSense is the only Gold Star dealer in Nebraska for silencer, located on Nebraska Highway 2 and with expanded customer territory through central Nebraska and western Nebraska. A turnkey opportunity with a very bright near and long-term future. That's located at 474 Crawford Street in Mason City. I think that sums it up for this week. This has been Kathy Eberly reporting for Dave Davis Auction Service and Farmers National Company. Thanks a lot for listening and have a great day. Thank you.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. People in parts of Northern California are being warned to evacuate as a bomb cyclone clobbers the state with record rain and hurricane-force winds. WCBS meteorologist Craig Allen.
There will be a risk to lives and property, and it's at a high to possibly even extreme danger along the immediate California coastline and also across the Sierra. It goes on up into the lower portions of Oregon.
Republicans could be set for another day of voting for House Speaker. CBS's Robert Costa.
Democrats for now and probably for this entire process are going to hold the line. Sources close to Hakeem Jeffries, the new Democratic leaders, say they're not going to offer a hand here because it's not their obligation to solve the Republicans' problem.
At the Vatican, a final goodbye to former Pope Benedict, whose body was buried there this morning. Tens of thousands of people gathered for his funeral today, nearly a week after his death. CBS News Brief. I'm Monica Ricks.
In Nebraska news, a Grand Island man has pleaded not guilty to first-degree sexual assault of a child. On Tuesday, 29-year-old Clayton Hornby appeared for his arraignment in Hall County District Court, where he entered his plea of not guilty. During that hearing, the judge denied a bond review in the case and set a 10% $150,000 bond. Hornby is charged with the sex crime after police arrested him back in October of 2022. Grand Island police claim that Hornby sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl at his home on October 23rd. The Grand Island Police Department said in the arrest affidavit that Hornby knew the girl's age prior to the sexual contact. I'm Dave Burney reporting.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
News from the NFL, where Buffalo Bills defensive back Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center after suffering a cardiac arrest in Monday night's game against the Bengals. Hamlin is showing signs of improvement, but his recovery will take time. In baseball news, the Boston Red Sox reportedly agree on an 11-year, $331 million extension with third baseman Rafael Devers. It's the largest contract in franchise history and the largest contract ever given to a third baseman in Major League history. Top 25 college basketball, 10 ranked teams in action. There were some upsets. Number 4, UConn loses to Providence 73-61. 12th ranked Miami fell at Georgia Tech 76-70. 16th ranked Duke losing big to NC State 84-60. And number 22 Auburn falls to Georgia 76-64. There were a couple of ranked teams that went head-to-head. Number 17 TCU wins at number 19 Baylor 88-87. Number 13 Arkansas beat number 20 Missouri 74-68.
Here's your weatherology forecast. We'll see a good deal of sunshine for today with highs climbing up into the lower 30s. Winds breezy from the northwest. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 12 degrees. Into the day on Friday, partial sunshine with lower 30s for highs. A chance for some flurries Friday night, a low of 14. And for Saturday, just holding on to some cloud cover there, back to 29. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
It's 15 degrees outside under a clear sky. Winds light out of the northwest right now. Barometric pressure has been rising. It's at 30.10, humidity at 80%. Our high yesterday was 29, an overnight low of 20. That was just before 7 o'clock. We're at 15 now. So with this clear sky and so forth, it's cooling down here this morning to 15. 9,300 precipitation measured from the snowfall, sleet, rain, freezing moisture that we received. And again, please drive with care out there. There are some slick spots out there. Did you get a chance to hear Grant's story about Victoria Springs this morning?
I did not. No, I saw it posted on Sand Hills Express, and I kind of started reading it, but then I ran out of time and had to get ready for the morning.
Oh.
So I haven't gotten all the way through it yet.
I was so glad that Grant put that story together, because for a number of years now, I think a lot of people have been wondering, why is Victoria Springs covered with this green covering almost all the time, especially in the not very many months out of the year it doesn't have that on it. And it's all about nutrients, according to the specialist that Grant talked to. I'd like to get Grant in here a little bit later if he's not too busy, and kind of dive into that a little bit deeper. It's just kind of something that I think a lot of us have been wondering why it's that way. They're trying to do something about it, but it sounds like that's going to be a tall task. But anyway, check that out on Sand Hills Express.
Yeah.
And good job on that, Grant. And, of course, as an employee of the
Employee of the Month.
We expect that sort of thing out of the person who's the
Absolutely.
Employee of the
Yeah.
Month. Yes.
Yeah, I don't want Grant to, there is a standard now that you have to live up to now that the title has been given.
This is true.
So I hope he understands that.
Oh, yeah. There's always some fine print at the bottom of an award like that.
Yeah, here at this place, there's always fine print.
Good morning, Steve. Steve dropped in a hello for our breakfast show chat box. And Michael, here's one for you. Didn't see it until after we completed the game. Michael, on behalf of Nebraska Through the Lens and Bow Family Market, he will donate 2 10-ounce New York strip steaks for knowing the right answer. That would go to Catherine.
Wow. Okay, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
On behalf of Nebraska Through the Lens and Bow Family Market, formerly Gary's Market, they're donating 2 10-ounce New York strip steaks for knowing the right answer, Catherine.
Wow.
So drop by the market and pick up 2 steaks.
Okay.
Bonus.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, and thanks for listening, too.
Yeah, appreciate that. Oh, here's a card that came from Mom.
Oh, yeah. Addressed just to you?
Attention, Dave Burney.
Attention, Dave Burney. Okay. Can I say something before you read this?
Sure.
Okay. I first off, I want to make sure that, because I'm sure Mom is listening, so I got to be careful here, because Mom and Dad, Shelley and I sent them a little something for Christmas.
Yes.
And they, via phone conversation, said thank you.
Well, that's nice.
And we're very appreciative. So I want to stress that.
Okay.
Okay, they said thank you, but I didn't get a personalized thank you card.
Well, what can I say? I don't know what to say to that, Brent, but this card came yesterday from James and Peggy Apperson in Bella Vista, Arkansas. Nice little, she has nice handwriting. Oh,
she does.
Most
yes.
moms do.
Yep.
Big thank you on the front. And of course, here we go. I hope Peg doesn't mind that I read this. Now, I'm not.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't even know what it says.
Well, there's some nice things she says here. Honestly, at the end, I don't even know if I should read it. It's so nice. All right, here we go. Dave, thank you for the Christmas gifts. Jim likes the T-shirt. I will enjoy the pearls to wear as special accessory when we go out to eat with the gift card that Brent gave us.
Well, okay. Now, that is my mom in a nutshell right there. She incorporated Brent into your thank you note.
Done it very nicely,
That's impressive. That's impressive, Mom.
Then she goes on to say, our 2 sons take care of us well. And then she says, I want to thank you for being such a good friend, brother to Brent. He is certainly where he wants to be, and you have helped him get there. Have a blessed 2023 from Mom and Dad.
That's my mom in a nutshell right there, that note.
She's sweet.
Yes, she is.
And Jim's nice. Although I'm not sure Jim is totally sold on Dave yet.
To be honest, I think, yeah, in Dad's mind, the jury is still out.
The jury is he really, is he a jerk?
No.
Jim.
They love you, Dave.
There's some jerk in me. I'll admit it. But as Peggy does, Brett brings out the best in me, except sometimes when I tease him. And I was going to go yesterday with, it was Tom Thumb Day, and I resisted going there because there was some information about his height and so forth.
Yeah,
and
you were going to relate Tom Thumb Day to me and my height, weren't you?
I thought about it, and I thought, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
that would not be nice.
Okay, well, thanks so much.
And I can start.
Thanks so much for bringing up the fact that you didn't want to bring up the fact.
About Tom Thumb?
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate your kindness there.
Well, you know, I'm trying to emulate our moms.
Yes. It'll probably never happen because of the distance, especially between here and where my mom lives.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the greatest breakfast shows would be if Brent and Dave had their moms right here in the studio to do the show.
Wow. Not only would that be great, it would be dangerous.
It would be dangerous, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun. You know, we could have like breakfast together and broadcast it.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah. And since you're the younger son, you would have to buy.
Ah, of course.
to washers, dryers, grills, griddles, smokers, and more. Visit Lines Appliance in Broken Bow. Happy New Year from Lines Appliance, Broken Bow.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Captain. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It is 8:16. Brent and Dave with you here on this Thursday. I think we're kind of getting our days straightened out now. Back on track, getting towards the end of the week. Weather's looking pretty good going into the weekend. Temperatures in the 30s. And no mention of any more moisture in the short term anyway.
Yeah, I think sunshine.
Yeah.
A lot of sunshine in the forecast.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. We can get out and maybe clean up those walks a little bit better after it starts melting.
This amount of snow, it's going to be around for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, driving, as I mentioned, on the Country Club Road and looking at the golf course and seeing all that snow laying on it, I thought, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We have some guests on schedule here on our schedule. We may or may not see them. I know some people are still out of sync with the weather and doing some things that normally they wouldn't do. So we'll just take on whoever comes in the door.
Absolutely.
What we'd like to do at this time, ladies and gentlemen, and bring in the Employee of the Month.
Oh, okay.
For just a moment.
Right.
Grant, could you come in and honor us with your presence?
This really is kind of an exciting moment. 'Cause like I said, I mean, listen, you've been here a lot longer than I have, but I've been around this place for several years.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly the time that I've been here, I've never even heard of KCNI KBBN honoring an Employee of the Month.
Yeah, we've had employees that have been mentioned as pain in arrears for the month, and even administrators pain in arrears for the month.
But this is
never this.
Yeah,
no.
so this would be the first one.
Wow.
How do you feel about that, Grant?
I feel great. You know, it's an immense honor, and you know, I got to give it up to the team. You know, it's not just an individual effort, but you know, it's everyone else.
Look at this guy.
Day in and day out. You know, we're all giving it our all. So you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
We should all
right
hoist
there.
the trophy. You know.
Oh man, you're nailing it. You're nailing it.
A tear almost came out of my eye. Oh my goodness!
Wow, I'm gonna have another cup.
Me too.
Grant, I really enjoyed or found your story this morning interesting about Victoria Springs. I mentioned earlier that I think a lot of people that have lived here over the years can remember. I can kind of paint a little picture for you. It used to be a huge thing on weekends for people to pack their picnic baskets and go to a park. And it was even difficult to find a space in a park on weekends when I was a kid to just enjoy the outdoors. There weren't 200 channels on the TV. A lot of folks didn't have air conditioning. And so it was nicer to be outside with a summer breeze. And there was a lot of family gatherings and reunions that took place. And Victoria Springs was really used for that a lot. And I think it still is. I don't know that it's used to the degree it was in those days. But as kids back in those days, the folks out there listening remember, you know, taking along some fishing poles for the kids and Grandpa, and you'd spend, you know, eat and then spend the afternoon fishing. And Victoria Springs is beautiful for that because there's a lot of bank where you can fish off the bank, and they maintain it really well. And so I think people over the years have wondered, you know, the fishing isn't as good, and it really isn't that, I guess, inviting to fish a pond that's covered with a green covering. I thought your information you brought forward was very interesting, and you had a specialist there you were talking to.
Yeah, I was the manager for aquatic habitats from Game and Parks. Who was like, I mean, I was up there earlier this summer at Victoria Springs. It's a beautiful park.
Yeah,
it still is.
Yep, gorgeous.
But it's just like, this is like something isn't right here, you know, with like the lake. So I caught wind that they were wrapping up. Apparently, they'd been working on it since 2012. studying what was actually happening, and they found out it was literally an excess of nutrients that native species just love. So
now, I find that interesting, and I have to ask why they think, and maybe you guys talked about this, why they think there's more nutrients now than there was 20 years ago.
You know, I couldn't tell you. I think it could be from the fact that, because I don't know what it was like 20 years ago, but apparently it was a beautiful, beautiful place. It could be that nutrients could be washing into the lake from the land.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. You know, here, I asked that because one of the other cool things about the park back then was there was kind of boasting the spring water. And at one time, if you do some research, I think you'll find it interesting. There was a bottling company up at Victoria Springs that I don't know whether I think you'll have to look into that further, whether it was a beverage or just water.
Yeah.
But there was a factory there, or a bottler, because the spring water was so clean and pure and good. And then I remember as a kid there was a pump that you could pump down by the creek that runs through there.
Yeah.
And it would say, spring water. Drink. You could drink spring water. Now I think if there's even one there anymore, but they used to have one there with a sign saying "Do not drink."
Yeah, probably
the spring water.
Yeah.
And I wondered if that was correlated as far as.
It could be.
Yeah.
I don't actually know 100% for sure.
You didn't dive into that part of it. This is just the problem we have. And I know even the Calmas, Brent, and you've probably even seen, we've had stories about even the larger lakes having too much bloom, too much green bloom, and that is, I think, usually they attribute that to off the land where it's farmed and so forth, upstream where the river's running into the lake too. So I don't know. I just wondered if they had talked about that. But what you talked about is where we're at now and how to fix it. It sounds like it's going to be kind of hard.
Yeah, apparently curing the whole thing is not really worth it. So the plan presumably is to mitigate what is there already by kind of circulating the water, by introducing a well that would pump in kind of less nutrient-rich water,
Yeah. So there was not runoff water. It would be water from a well they dig.
Right. So the plan is to reduce the amount of plants that are there and that are growing all the time, but they're still probably going to be there for most likely ever.
And some growth in a lake is okay because they create oxygen, and the fish do well to a certain point. But even, I think in your article it said the fishing is not great because it's too much.
It's too much because there's, the excess of plants means that when they die off, they take a lot of that oxygen with them, which is a lot because there's a lot of plant life there.
Yeah.
And in return, it just kills off bunches of fish that would otherwise be thriving in an environment that has those plants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's too bad. I remember taking a boat up there and get a nice little run up after work and throw some plastic worms and catch some bass, you know. And I remember the Holcomb family, as quickly as they could get out of the church on Sunday, they all loaded in the car and went up and catfished. And there was some big catfish in there.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll get something done there because it is a beautiful park.
It really is.
Yeah.
I was shocked the first time I went up there and wound around the trail system. I was blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away.
I used to use it all the time when I had a photography business. That's why I took a lot of senior pictures.
Yeah, sure.
And because it was, so wonderful. You had such wonderful backgrounds behind the kids. And it was close.
Yeah.
I think the Arnold State Park, and Brent, that's been taken over by the city, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
They dug, both of those lakes have been dug out in the last 10 years probably. And the major dig out over at the Arnold Lake. And they've always had them big lily pad growth there clear back when I was a kid. That was always predominant there. And if you check that lake out later in the summer, it's pretty well taken over by growth as well.
Yeah, they actually, the Arnold Lake was one of the lakes that was in this like series of decade-long studies as well. And they actually performed similar treatments to that at Victoria Springs. But for some reason, the Arnold Lake took to them. So it's like, yeah, that actually cleared up and was like noticeable over time. So.
Well, it's really an interesting story.
It was cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do.
One of the reasons Grant Winter is Employee of the Month at KCNI KBBN.
Absolutely.
Just one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But it's time for a haircut then, huh?
Well, that's your call. The slippers I find interesting, but when you're an award winner, you can, you can do what you want.
That's all right. I'm just glad he has, slippers on. There's some people who have walked around here in their bare feet.
Kristen walks around with her socks a lot.
Yeah, and socks. Yeah.
She must be bidding for Employee of the Month.
It must be.
We'll take a time out. There may be somebody in the lobby that wants to talk to us.
Really?
I see Jeremy's visiting with somebody, so let's find out.
Ag producers, now is your opportunity to secure spring seed and save money too. Arrow Seed is offering early booking and early pay discounts on alfalfa, summer annual forages, and spring small grains. Act by January 10th to save 8% on alfalfa and 10% on summer annual forages. Arrow Seed has clean, quality seed for every need and every budget. Stop by and visit them in Broken Bow or contact your local Arrow Seed dealer today to take advantage of the early order and prepaid discounts. Learn more at arrowseed.com.
More good times are coming to The Breakfast Show, and someone will come away a winner. Starting January 11th, we'll take 3 calls a day to register for 2 second-row floor tickets for the Blake Shelton concert in Lincoln.
Hey, y'all, this is Blake Shelton. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
The winner will also get a $250 gift card to spend as they please. Keep listening to KCNI KBBN and get ready to play a fun game starting January 11th on The Breakfast Show.
When I die, I want to come back as a country boy. No, there ain't no better life if you ask me.
Win Blake Shelton tickets on The Breakfast Show starting January 11th.
It is 8:28. Nate Bell is here from Universal Insurance. And you're right, Nate. That wasn't a pump. That was a pipe.
Yeah.
It just run water all the time.
Like a steel pipe coming out of your house or whatever.
Out of Victoria Springs Creek there, or down in there.
Right by the playground and stuff.
Yeah, down by the playground. You just go up and get a drink.
Yep.
Then a sign come up and says, don't drink this water.
That was before they put that nice bridge up, too. It was just kind of a small bridge where you can get down there and you can get easier access to it. But,
yeah. Occasionally they would stock some trout in there in the spring, and you could fish the creek for trout.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. How you been?
I've been good. Yeah.
Good. How's the insurance biz?
Yeah, it's good. We haven't had any, people have been driving pretty safe, so that's good. I haven't had too many accidents, so that's good.
I was actually going to ask you about if you've had a few calls the last day or two about fender benders or whatever.
No, I mean, I was thinking of the things that come up in snowstorms that you have to worry about on your insurance policies and making sure that you're covered. And the two that pop up the most, other than the normal getting into car wrecks, are glass. You get rock chips now. I mean, we're gonna have gravel on those roads for pretty much until the end of spring when they get a chance to wash them off. But and weight of ice and snow on buildings causing collapse, and those are two covered. So glass, a lot of companies now offer $0 deductibles for your glass now, which is for the replacement, which is fantastic because there are now really expensive pieces of glass on the front of vehicles because they have to go in. A lot of the sensors that they have for their lane assist and all that stuff has to be recalibrated when they put those things on. And so they can be in the thousands of dollars for a windshield now. It used to be you could go get a windshield for $150, $250, and you're like, I don't need collision or comprehensive deductible for that. I'll just take care of it. So now, because they're so expensive, there's that option. And then on the ag buildings and stuff, a lot of policies require they're not covered for the weight of snow and ice unless you add it in. So that collapse scenario of that heavy wet snow that we had, we didn't have a lot, but it came down slow with no wind, so it was just coming and setting. And so most of the time we have wind, so it just blows right off the roof. But this scenario is a little bit different.
There, yeah. I almost hate to bring this up to an insurance guy. Almost hate to bring it up to anybody that owns a home or a business. But we did have some frozen pipes.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that happened in that really cold spell we had. And I don't know if there's things that are worse. Yes. But carpet floating in the basement, or water running down the ceiling through the light fixtures, it's not a pretty sight.
No, it's not fun.
And I know water damage and that sort of thing, it's kind of in a category of its own, isn't it, in the insurance side?
Water's a 4-letter word in the insurance business, because whenever a water claim happens, there's a lot of things that have to happen correct. Not a lot, but there's things that have to happen a certain way for the insurance policy to cover it. Frozen pipes is one that in most policies that it is covered. It's the breakage of a frozen pipe. Now the unique thing in insurance policies, and I don't know one that's any different than this, that's funny, is that they'll pay for the damage that the water caused, but they won't pay to fix the pipe.
Wow. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, we'll take care of all the damage, but you're on your own for that $50 worth of pipe fixing or whatever it is. So it's the silliest thing in the policy. I don't know why it's that way, but that's one thing on frozen pipes or any type of pipe breakage. They'll pay the resultant overflow of water, but they will not pay to fix the pipe, which is silly. But frozen pipes are typically one of those that I'm not too concerned about. And 90% of the policies you're going to find, the weird ones are the really, a policy you write because you've got a house that you're in the midst of remodeling, or it's vacant. Vacant is one that frozen pipes are not going to have coverage for. So if you have a vacant property, even if the policy, the way it's written, is written correctly, vacancy immediately kicks that policy down and removes frozen water pipes. So if you have vacancy policies out, if you have vacant properties out there, say rentals, or you've moved out of your house and it's for sale, you need to make sure that the heat's on and that you're checking that thing regularly, because oftentimes policies will have a vacancy clause that will kick out that. Vandalism, malicious mischief is another one that kicks out because no one's there checking on it, and the damage can be excessive because if that water runs for multiple days, it becomes suddenly really bad.
Well, that's something, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you have a property like that, and maybe you're a person that has a couple rentals, and they're not full right now, well, you want to make sure that you check those often.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can't get a policy to cover it if you're not in use. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, there is no any type of vacancy at all. If you go buy a policy for a vacant property, they're not going to allow you to get the coverage. And if you have a policy in place and it becomes vacant while that policy is in place, that coverage gets taken away from you. And they'll check, and they'll go in and look, okay, was the thermostat set correctly? Has somebody been checking on it? Is there furniture in the building? Is there signs that someone's been living here or been taken care of? And if there isn't, that vacancy kicks in. So,
all right. Well, there's a conversation that you might have with some of your customers or potential customers. And again, that's why sitting down with Universal Insurance pays dividends, because you got to know those things ahead of time. Otherwise, those kind of surprises are pretty awful.
Yeah, that's why water is a 4-letter word, because there's so many things that can pop in and out. Flood's obviously one that is not covered unless you have a flood policy, but water in general scares the bejesus out of me when someone calls in and wants a water claim, because I can't tell them 100%, because there's going to be a myriad of questions that are going to be asked, and I don't know. So it's a tough one typically, but generally speaking, a lot of internal plumbing coverages are something that's covered. So,
well, glad we talked about it. I hope we don't have to deal with that again. But I mean, I have, and I'm sure you have as an insurance guy, just heard that there were some broken pipes around.
Oh yeah, we had a few too
during that period of time, and we out here about when it gets that cold, all of a sudden we don't get water out of the sink anymore for a day or two, and you wonder, well, is it
we'll
going
see
to
what
be
happens
breaking?
when this thaws out. Yeah, I mean, even our own office had suddenly someone comes in my office and they go, "Your bathroom sink's water isn't running." And I'm like, "Oh God, where is this thing?" And it ended up not breaking, but it just froze up. Yeah,
we've even the first time it did it, and this is actually on the newer side of the building. The guys who built it came in and put some more insulation in between the two buildings. They think that might be the place, but we've had it happen every time it gets that cold. It scares you.
Yeah,
and you can't crawl up into the walls and.
Yeah, and generally speaking, a small cold spell in the new plumbing with that PEX stuff is better because that stuff flexes a little bit more than the copper used to would just snap.
Crack, yeah.
And so as long as you don't have an extended period of multiple days below zero, the PEX can handle it because it's not as much. But when you have, what were we, negative 45 for 2 days in the wind chill? Yeah, I mean, you're just crossing your fingers and hoping you don't have those gaps that cause that weird air to get to a pipe and freeze it just in a small spot. We've had the same issue at Kincaid too. There's always one spot that just we can't seem to.
No, that wind just keeps pounding on it and bringing that temp down. But yeah, that's good to know though. If you have a house that you have for sale or it's a rental and nobody's in it, you're at risk, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. This time of year, January, we think about, starting over, doing things differently, refreshing things before we go tear into the full year. We've been talking about it when we do your live reads. Good time maybe to talk to you and Jack about, do I have too much coverage on something? Did I forget something that I don't even drive anymore or use anymore? Or did I add some things?
Yeah, always good to check on that stuff. And we're doing a pretty good job of looking through your stuff at renewals and making sure the premiums aren't getting too out of control, and touching base with you through a quick email and just saying, hey, if you want to look at this, let me know. Yeah, and we have the advantage to a certain degree where we see a lot of our clients all the time, and we're like, I don't remember you calling me about that car. Those types of conversations. Now we can't catch them all, and that's a thin line you have to worry about a little bit. But yeah, it's a good thing to make sure you come in and check. And we did a pretty good job in the last year making sure that valuations on buildings and properties are appropriate for the inflation that we saw in the last year. So that's good. But yeah, it's always good to come in and check.
When we renewed, we went through it together. You always give me a call, and for a number of years, I kind of resisted adding what you kind of gently recommended that we add, and that I don't even remember the term now. It had to do with terrorist.
Terrorism. Yeah, we always took it off. I think, David.
Yeah.
And this is in 9/11. After 9/11. The United States government, I think it was a governmental action, required that terrorism coverage be added to all insurance policies, and then you have to ask to have it removed. It's still being added to everybody's policy on a commercial level to this day. It's very inexpensive.
It wasn't very much.
Yeah, it isn't very much.
But what does it cover?
It covers if a terrorist act happens and causes damage to your property. And the Terrorist Act has a very specific clause in that form that has to be determined by the Secretary of State of the United States that was a terrorist act. So this is fun from an insurance guy's standpoint, not fun for most people. But if you see terrorist acts in the United States or bombings or the fact that we're having this conversation is bananas. But if you see those things happen and you'll see a conversation of, was that a terrorist act? Well, the government has to be very careful about calling those terrorist acts, because if they do, then those clauses kick in and suddenly there's no insurance coverage, potentially. So it's not just a yeah, that was a terrorist act, we know it was. But like the first one I remember seeing that was a really debated event was the Boston Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept talking about it not being a terrorist, but everybody knew it was. But my only thought was that they're not going that far so that those insurance policies for those buildings and things that were damaged could still provide coverage. It was that's an insurance conversation in my own head that I'm just like, I think the reason they're doing this is not political. I think it's
financial.
Yeah, I think it actually might be.
Oh. Yeah, and you know, there's domestic terrorism and then there's foreign terrorism. From 9/11, we think of the foreign invasion, but we're doing a pretty good job of.
Yeah, your general vandalism that would happen generally around here would not just fall into the terrorist act. I mean, your Secretary of State's not going to come in and say that, but yeah, that's the line, and that's one of those things that folks were worried about, is that well, what is the insurance company going to come in and say that it was a terrorist act and not provide coverage? It's very specific about the steps that have to be taken by the U.S. government to consider it a terrorist act for that coverage to be declined. So,
well, we try to keep the breakfast show somewhat non-controversial so that we won't be attacked, but
right.
You never know. And unfortunately, in this world today, it doesn't cost very much for that little piece of coverage.
No,
and it's not a big financial concern. It just seems, like you said, crazy that we're talking about it, but. These days,
yeah, we nonchalantly talk about bombings across the United States. It's kind of
never
bananas,
know.
But.
Never know. Well, that said, what about? I think sometimes when we're talking with you about insurance or we do our live reads, we're got in our heads. We're talking about people who own the buildings and the houses and so forth. But there's a lot of people out there, hundreds and hundreds of people who prefer to rent.
Yeah.
And rental insurance is something that a lot of us don't know anything about, and if you're renting, they might want to talk to you about being covered for what they have for their possessions, right?
Yeah, I'll give a quick example on that based on what you were talking about earlier with broken water pipes. So let's say you live in an apartment complex and the apartment upstairs water pipe breaks, floods your apartment downstairs. A lot of folks believe that their property would be covered by the owner's building's insurance or by the tenant above them. Say they left the toilet running, and it overflowed, or the tub, or whatever, it clogged, whatever it may be.
Sure.
No.
Wow.
You have to have renter's insurance for your property to be covered in that scenario. So that is the most likely scenario of something to happen. The one that the biggest fear is the apartment complex burns down, or there's a tornado, or what have you. The most likely thing to happen would be a water pipe break somewhere in that complex, or you don't even have to live in a complex. Say you're renting a house and the water pipe breaks. If you do not have coverage, sure, the carpet will be fixed, but your furniture, if it's in a basement, any type of contents that you have in that basement, not covered. And that's huge. The other really, really cheap part of that coverage is you get personal liability coverage, which means that anywhere you go besides your vehicle, you have liability for someone that wants to sue you for bodily injury or what have you. So let's say I accidentally knock Brent over on the way out of the office here, and he breaks his arm and he wants to sue me. If I didn't have renter's coverage, I would have no liability to protect me from that lawsuit.
Wow.
So that's a simple, very inexpensive, and renter's insurance is a couple $100 a year, so it's very inexpensive, and it provides those two very, very huge amounts of coverage for a couple $100. It's huge.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a highly overlooked coverage because most people think I don't have that much stuff. I don't have that much stuff, but they forget it. They don't know about the liability side of things. They don't know about the potential for the water damage. And I'll tell you what, you can add up your personal property in $20,000 to $30,000 like
Doesn't
that.
take long.
No. Couches, furnitures.
Is there a theft protection
theft.
there
It's
as
just
well?
like your home. Yeah, just
Okay.
everything's. You're just not protecting the building.
Okay. Well, if you're renting out there and you don't have insurance for a couple $100, that sounds like a pretty smart move.
Yeah, and usually you can tie it with your auto policy, and it almost pays for itself in the discount. So,
wow.
So it's almost it used to always pay for itself, but as premiums have went up, it doesn't quite do that. But it does come pretty good. You've got a 10%, 20% discount on that with your auto policy, and the way auto policy premiums are, 20% on an auto policy for a year can be quite a bit. So,
boy, we're not pinched for time here. I don't know if are you okay with time?
Yeah, I'm good.
The automobile thing has changed dramatically, I think. You tell me if I'm wrong, but the actual cost of automobiles from 20 years ago or 10 years ago, and that's obvious. I mean, there's pickups out there that are $80,000 pickups,
or 100,
or over 100. Yeah, the windshield might be. I don't know.
I think you could get a Lamborghini when I was in grade school for $100,000.
Now you get a pickup for 80 to 100.
Yeah.
And cars. I mean, the technology that they have is amazing. They're so comfortable. They're really beautiful machines. The motors run 3 times, 4 times as long as they used to. But when you have a fender bender, watch out. It doesn't take just a little dent to really rack up, does it?
Yeah, you're in deer collisions. When I first started 18 years ago, were usually around 1,000 or under, and that would be a pretty bad deer collision. Now, if you barely bump something, it's $3,000. I mean, it's just if you have to have the plastic replaced, the bumpers replaced. Most of it can't be fixed anymore. That's part of the problem. They just have to replace it, and then they have to do the paint, and then there's the labor of the replacing it. And then you've got the body shops that have to adapt to all this technology, and they have to paint on aluminum, and so their costs have went up, and they have to buy all this expensive equipment. If you go talk to Rod or Todd, and the amount of equipment they've had to purchase over the last few years to keep up with the changing and how the body and how the paint is applied, it's $3,000 just to basically bring a vehicle in almost.
Yeah, and they're a computer on wheels, so you have all that technology.
You have to have all the sensors realigned. All those collision sensors have to be recalibrated, and they have to buy special computers for that. And of course, they can't be one computer. It has to be for every brand. And
well, there was a time where if you were able to do this and just outright buy a new car, you could just put liability on it and think, if I don't have an accident, I might be money ahead. Yeah. I don't think that can pencil out anymore, can it?
There's still a few folks that still do that, and it's hard to pencil that out, though.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's hard to pencil it. I mean, not a new car, they don't do that. That's. But it used to be about 10 years. You'd say after a 10-year-old car, you probably can take that off comp and collision and go liability. A 10-year-old car now still's $20,000.
Yeah. It's still going to cost a lot to fix it.
Yeah, it's still going to cost a lot to fix it, and it's not going to get necessarily totaled out right away. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, our nearly 20-year-old vehicle or 10-year-old vehicle is at least $20,000.
Yeah.
So, and it's got 160,000 miles on it. You're just like,
changes the formula, that's for sure, and it does require, I think, like what you guys offer, sit down and talk about those things because I got a car that's 12 years old. Should I really have insurance on it? Well, you need to talk about it.
Yeah, and understand the premium costs. Understand that the reason those premiums cost the way they do is because of those things, not because you were a bad driver and maybe you were a great driver and there's no history of you having any issues. Your premiums are going to reflect the changes in the cost to fix them, regardless if you've had an accident or not. Yeah. Because if you do, which we all will at some point. I mean, we just can't avoid it to a certain degree, but hail even, it costs a lot to fix them. And so that's how insurance works, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about a lot of different things. We didn't really ask you what you wanted to talk about.
That's all right. I was curious about the attractiveness of insurance agents that I keep hearing about.
Well, I believe that this was something that Dave brought up, and so I'll have you visit with him about it.
Oh, well, I actually talked to your wife about it.
Yeah.
When we did the remote at the foundation before the annual gala, and I just asked her, I said, do you think insurance guys are, I think I might even said sexier than most or something.
I think what you asked was, do you believe they are incredibly sexy?
Yeah.
And your wife Lisa did not hesitate. She said, "Well, definitely. What are you talking about?" Sort of answer.
Yeah.
And so we've just been kind of promoting when we do your live reads occasionally.
Oh, and Liana too, and yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think the thing I wanted to comment on though is that we're all, as insurance agents, We're all living in Zach Meyer's world. He is the sexiest agent out there.
I can't wait to see
Oh,
Zach.
Zach. What? Well, he let's face it, he took after his dad. He was a handsome devil, still a handsome devil.
Yep.
I guess insurance people are just handsome and sexy and beautiful.
I would say it was clean living, but it's definitely not that.
I don't know. Chip's slowed down enough. He's probably living a pretty clean life.
There you go. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But that all with that conversation, you just brought up people that you are in the business world with and compete with. I think it's pretty amazing, honestly, because there's a lot of competition out there for insurance in this area. But yet you guys all seem to get along great.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's pretty cool.
Zach's one of my closest. I mean, he's a really good friend, and we talk frequently about stuff. And, we work together on projects and things like that. So yeah.
I liked Zach a little bit better when he still had his ponytail, but when he cut that off, I had to adjust.
Yeah, there you go.
He told me something about raising a family and having kids kind of changed things for him a little bit.
Got rid of the ponytail.
Wasn't a real long one. It was one of those little short ones that he had when he first came back, and
he had that Thor look when he had that ponytail.
Thor. That's but he's like you though. The family coming back.
Yeah, he's third generation as well.
Third generation as well. That's amazing, and you see that in this business often.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why.
Why? To be in this crazy
you
business.
Think living in a household with an insurance agent over the years would push you away from the business, but for some reason.
Yeah, because you grew up watching it happen, right?
Yeah, I think I think what we end up seeing is that it provides you with a life outside of the business that you want. Flexible hours, and you get to do the things you love. And that's the key about any job, really.
And you get to meet a lot of nice people. I mean,
absolutely.
Going back to your granddad, just the relationships that were built back in the '60s and all the way through.
Still have clients from the '60s.
Yeah. I think my mother might be one of those.
Yep. There's a handful of them left. I mean, over the years, folks have either moved away or left or what have you. But there's a good handful of them still from when Grandpa was there in the '60s and '70s. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, thank you.
Come back, would you?
I will.
All right. We're going to take a timeout and continue with these words.
The key to surviving the winter months in Nebraska is layers, and just as important as the outside layer is the inside ones. Right now, sweatshirts and sweatpants are buy one, get one 50% off at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow. Scott has stocked a great variety of styles, colors, and brands. Whether you're running to the gym or putting them on under snow pants, sweatshirts and sweatpants are what you'll save on right now at Geared for Sports, west side of the square in Broken Bow.
It is no secret that cybersecurity and keeping your personal information safe and secure is very important. Scammers never stop and will do whatever they can to get your information. Some examples of what to be looking out for are spoofed phone calls, suspicious emails or texts, computer pop-ups, requests for urgent wire transfers or gift card purchases. If you are suspicious of fraud or a scam, always call your bank about the situation. Bruning Bank wants you to stay safe and be diligent.
to celebrate the turning of the calendar. You'll find savings up to 50%. They will be open Friday 11:30 to 4:30 and Saturday 8:30 to 4:30. Psalm 37 verse 23 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him." Save 23 to 50% Friday or Saturday at the Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north. The Secret Garden.
Hello, I'm Chris Smith, the Palmer Monument Company. There are many good reasons to pre-select your family memorial. During the months of January and February, we are giving you one more reason, our annual winter sale. Come and see us today, and when you bring the coupon from the newspaper, receive additional savings off our already reduced prices. Our goal is to assist you in selecting the memorial that best fits your family needs, and will save you money too, during the annual winter sale at Palmer Monument Company of Broken Bow in Lexington.
Waking up Central Nebraska.
They are so funny.
KCNI, KBBN.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. A massive storm is now pummeling parts of California. CBS's Tom Foti.
Imagine a river overhead. Much of California's got one drenching straight down. Santa Barbara County Sheriff Bill Brown.
An estimate of 4 to 8 inches of rain within 24 hours.
Officials are worried mudslides are next. Republicans have refused to back Kevin McCarthy and failed to elect a House Speaker for a second day yesterday on Capitol Hill. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Key McCarthy allies, Dan Crenshaw of Texas and Dan Webster of Florida. They didn't just exude pessimism, they were oozing pessimism.
They've run through 6 rounds of voting so far. Pope Francis led the funeral for Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI today at the Vatican, where tens of thousands of people attended to pay their respects, including dignitaries and clergy from around the world. The former pontiff was 95. CBS News Brief. I'm Monica Ricks.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Kevin Wyatt.
ESPN reporting that Mario Hamlin, father of hospitalized Bills player Damar Hamlin, is, quote, making progress on his recovery from the cardiac arrest he suffered in Monday's game. Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk saying that momentum is building to not resume the postponed game between the Bills and Bengals, and that the game will be declared a no contest. That means the seeding for the AFC side of the playoffs will be determined this weekend. NBA scores from last night. The Lakers overcome the absences of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Lonnie Walker to beat the Miami Heat, 112-109. The Nets' 12-game winning streak snapped in a 121-112 loss to Chicago. Giannis Antetokounmpo triple-double, 30 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists in the Bucks' 104-101 overtime win against the Raptors. College basketball and 2 games featuring top 25 teams going head-to-head. Number 17 TCU won at number 19 Baylor, 88-87, and number 13 Arkansas knocked off number 20 Missouri, 74-68.
Here's your weatherology forecast. We'll see a good deal of sunshine for today with highs climbing up into the lower 30s. Winds breezy from the northwest. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 12 degrees. Into the day on Friday, partial sunshine with lower 30s for highs. A chance for some flurries Friday night, a low of 14. And for Saturday, just holding on to some cloud cover there, back to 29. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible end-of-the-year sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building at end of the year savings. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8335. 888-74-STEEL.
Currently 16 degrees under a clear sky. Winds out of the northwest 5 to 10. Barometric pressure at 3012. That's up 2 points in the last hour. 79% humidity. Again, please drive with care out there. We do have a few late starts, 2 or 3 schools starting at 10, which is less than an hour from now. So everything's kind of getting back in the groove.
Seems to be. That's good. Everything okay? All of a sudden you have this real intense look on your face.
Well, you know, I got a call from my wife, Joan, and...
You did, yes.
I didn't get the story exactly right this morning.
Oh, boy. I was kind of wondering, because I was actually the one that answered the phone when Joan called. And usually Joan will, like, visit for a little bit.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, it was kind of like, is Dave available right now?
Yeah, I know. And
so I'm like, oh, boy,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here.
Well, when she called to tell me about what took place this morning when she thought something was wrong, I was on the air, and she may be right in that I didn't catch everything correctly. And she mentioned several times in this conversation that she had with me the second time that I must not have listened very carefully the first time.
Okay. And so, and this story kind of centers around the fact that you brought Joan's car out to work this morning rather than what you would normally drive.
I thought that's what the case was.
Okay.
But what happened is she looked out the upstairs bathroom. She only saw the Acadia, the car I usually drive.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she knew the other one was even gone because it's closer to the house.
Okay.
She thought, I guess I must have slipped and fallen because the porch light was on and that I was somewhere in the house.
Well, I could see where that would raise concern if she just saw, the vehicle that you take pretty much every day.
Yeah, was still there at 6:15.
Was still there. That's what she saw. I probably would have, honestly, Dave came to the same conclusion.
Really?
Oh, my goodness, what is something wrong?
Are we at that point in our lives that your spouse would think that you had fallen down the stairs or bumped your head and knocked yourself out or something? Are we to that point?
Well, you are getting older, Dave.
Oh, gosh. Well,
but no, it's just concern.
That's good news,
you know?
that Joan is concerned. As I said, there have been some times over our married life that she would have liked to had someone come and take me away forever, and she would never see me again. So I think we're gaining after 50-plus years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joan. I didn't mean to scare you. Now, you have a ball game tonight.
We do.
And we're going to have video and radio?
That's what I'm told. That's our plan.
That's the plan?
Yes. We'll have high school basketball for you tonight. I'm glad you brought it up. Want to clarify the start time. We're told now that they're going to try to tip things off around 5:30 with the girls' varsity game tonight. So that's kind of what we're planning on. So we'll be in Arnold tonight for South Loop against Sandhills Thetford, girls and boys basketball doubleheader. Again, girls varsity, we're told, probably starting around 5:30 or so tonight. And then the boys game will follow. We'll have live coverage of both on KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com, and we'll also do the live video stream, too, that you can access on the Sandhills Express Facebook and YouTube channel. And then tomorrow, we're going to be in Ansley to do Ansley-Litchfield against Twin Loop. It'll be the same scenario. We'll do radio and video. Girls varsity showing at 6 o'clock tip-off, boys to follow. So we'll have Ansley-Litchfield and Twin Loop for you tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we're going to go to Kearney and cover Broken Bow basketball. The Broken Bow girls playing in the Nebraska Girls Basketball Showcase. They'll play Class B Beatrice. 1:50 tip-off time is scheduled from Kearney High. So we'll have that for you Saturday afternoon on KBBN 95.3 FM. That'll be radio only for us. And then later that night on Saturday, we're going to do the Broken Bow boys against Bridgeport. They're going to play at Kearney High as well. Tip-off for that is showing at 6:45 Saturday evening, so we'll have coverage of it Saturday on KBBN FM.
Thank you, Brent. And you'll be able to enjoy the evenings even more, because you're going to have the Employee of the Month with you.
That's my understanding, yeah. Yep. Grant, Brent, and Jeremy. the three amigos or whatever you want to call us. We'll be with you tonight and tomorrow, and then Jeremy and I will be with you on Saturday.
And if you're lucky tonight, the Employee of the Month will round up some popcorn for you.
Maybe. Yeah. You never know.
Or maybe since he's the Employee of the Month, you should give him popcorn.
I was just going to say, maybe it's the other way around. I don't know how that works. We've never had an Employee of the Month here. I don't know how it works.
It's all new territory.
I mean, do you get perks as the Employee of the Month? Being Employee of the Month, do people do things for you? Or to show that you're worthy of being Employee of the Month, should you do even more for the people you work with?
Let's dive
That's my question.
That's a good question. Let's dive even deeper on that.
Okay.
Is there a bit of jealousy with the rest of the staff members? Because Grant is not only the Employee of the Month, he's the first one ever.
First one ever, and let's just be honest, the one who has worked here the least amount of time of the current staff.
There you go. Bingo.
What kind of jealousy will that cause?
Conversations.
I'm not jealous about it. I think he's worthy of it. Well, you and I are the ones that bestowed upon him the honor. No jealousy on my part.
The cubicles will be bubbling today.
I think the jealousy will come on how we handle Employee of the Month. I mean, if Employee of the Month gets a lot of what am I trying to say? Gets preferential treatment. Okay, then I think there's going to we could have some jealousy cropping up. But if we go the other route and make the Employee of the Month, I guess, show that they're worthy of being the Employee of the Month, and all of a sudden they have to do extra things, then probably not much jealousy. But in Grant's case, I think there should be, if you're Employee of the Month, you should be getting
accolades.
Yes, yeah. Good things happening to you.
Here's an
Concessions.
idea. Just an idea.
Whatever.
There's a pair of silver slippers out in the breezeway.
My wife asked me if those were yours.
No.
Oh.
They look like they would belong to Cinderella.
Kinda.
They're sparkly. They're slip-ons. And Grant has a pair of, I would call them leather
moccasin
type that he wears with the fluffy around the top, like sheep's wool. They look very comfortable. But should we just suggest to him, since he is the Employee of the Month, that he could wear the silver slippers?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll talk about it in our next gathering.
Okay. Now, is this something we have to do every month since we established it, or we just let it go? Grant's Employee of the Month for January, then it just kind of fades away.
Well, I'm in favor of fading away, if I can get that out. How about a reward like this? Next time, Grant, in fact, you're going over there today. I don't know if they're open or not that late, but, take him, take him down to the restaurant and buy him a cheeseburger.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just.
Well, I was just thinking, we love going to the concession stand.
Yeah.
When we go to area games. I thought maybe we could. Now wait. Okay. Now we've got to do a little bit more clarification here. Are you saying out of my own pocket?
Well, sure.
Now wait a minute. If he's going to be Employee of the Month of KCNI KBBN, give me a little cash out of the company till, and I'd be more than happy to buy him a cheeseburger.
Brent, it's not going to mean as much.
But I don't think that's fair to make me pay out of my own pocket to get Grant something as Employee of the Month.
Well,
because it's a company thing.
Here, can I just interject this thought? It won't mean as much.
What do you want?
It
what
won't
do you
mean
mean
as much to Grant if it's company money.
I would like to get Grant's thought on this. If I'm getting a cheeseburger, I don't care who's paying for it. It's not going to mean any more to me if somebody dips into their own pocket to pay for it or if the company pays for it. A cheeseburger is a cheeseburger.
Wait a minute. Hold it. This just in.
Oh, boy.
Michael More information in the chat box.
Okay.
Michael says, I have a stake for the January Employee of the Month, too.
Oh, my goodness.
So Grant gets to go to Bow Family Market and pick up a 10-ounce steak for being Employee of the Month.
All right. Now there's jealousy. Now the jealousy is creeping in. Now there's going to be a problem.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's a nice little gift, Michael.
Yeah.
From the meat department at Bow Family Market to Grant Winter, Employee of the Month here at KCNI KBBN.
Wow. That's great.
You know something else?
You know, I said jealousy, but you know, I'm happy for Grant.
Let's be happy
again,
for him.
He's deserving of it.
Let's throw
That's why he is Employee of the Month.
Yes, and let's throw in a nice cup of coffee at Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts for him.
Well, there you go.
And that could also come out of your pocket as well.
I say you send. Now, wait a minute. Send one of the other staff members to get it for him, and they can pay out of their pocket.
I can't even get the sales staff to scoop the walk. How am I going to get them to give money to a gift to Grant?
Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts. Here you go. It's a new month, so that means new featured drinks for the month. January featured drinks at Prairie Grounds right here in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Oh, man, these are good ones. Cinnamon French Toast. Mixture of toasted marshmallow and cinnamon. Caramel Nut Crunch Chai. Caramel, hazelnut, and vanilla chai. The Neapolitan. Vanilla, strawberry, and mocha. Pumpkin Pie Latte. Caramel and pumpkin spice. And the Strawberry Cupcake. Mixture of strawberry and white mocha. Featured drinks for the month of January at Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts. Did you know that you can always call ahead your order? You can call in your order, 872-3333. They'll have it ready for you. Now open on Mondays. Open Monday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 1. Make sure you check their Facebook page. Stay up to date with everything happening at Prairie Grounds Cafe and Gifts in Broken Bow, Nebraska.
A steak.
I can't believe that you would, KCNI, KBBN, would issue an Employee of the Month, and then to reward the Employee of the Month, you would actually suggest to the individual staff members that they pull money out of their own pocket to award things and honor the Employee of the Month. Well, I mean, to me, that should come from the company.
It would not mean as much. It would mean more if it came right out of your pockets, right towards Grant's gift. That's one of those things that I truly believe would be more meaningful if it was you guys as greenbacks rather than the companies. And I stand by that strongly.
The only person it'd be more meaningful to would be to you.
I don't have anything to do, with that part. I mean, it's a business. I could donate a couple dollars myself out of my pocket.
You could, but you won't.
Well, all I have is a $10 bill.
Oh, well,
I hate to give that whole thing up.
That might actually get Grant, Jeremy, and Brent a cheeseburger tonight. That would be nice.
Maybe. Well, let's.
Hey, we're in a new year. Can we start? What about meal money for the sports guys that go out and do games?
We have a live read to do. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership.
Yes, we do. So I guess that one I just brought up, we're not going to discuss that.
We'll table that.
Okay. All right. Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership looking for an individual to work as a WIC RN coordinator in Loop City. It is a full-time position with a good starting wage. It's yearly, anywhere from $45,000 to $50,000 per year, depending on your qualifications. Great benefits with this position. Now, to qualify, you must be a registered nurse or registered dietitian. Also looking for someone with previous supervisory experience. You would be complying with state and federal WIC and immunization program guidelines, coordinate clinic sites while providing immunization screening assistance. For more information, contact CNCAP at 308-745-0780. The extension you would use would be 0. Or you can apply for this position by going to their website, which is centralnebraskacap.com.
9:22.
makes that decision? You and me?
Well, we're the breakfast show hosts.
Okay. I guess we're the ones that made him Employee of the Month. I guess it'd be our determination on whether anybody else even has a chance.
Yes. Matt, do you have an Employee of the Month award at Subway?
No, but every once in a while when I get a customer gives recognition to an employee, I give them an incentive.
That's nice.
You mean you pay them?
Or I give them cookies.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
So here's cookies for the Employee of the Month.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
I figured he's already got supper, so now he needs dessert.
Yeah, thank
Very
you,
nice.
Matt.
Yeah.
Good for one free fresh baked cookie, and you've got 3 of them here for him, so he can stock up. One maybe with breakfast with a glass of milk.
Yeah.
And one with his steak for dessert, and one with his minced ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Or, better yet, stop in. He won't have to have a minced ham sandwich if he
Right.
comes to Subway and picks up a tasty, fresh-made sandwich.
Right. I recommend, like, the Boss.
Yeah. I want to, you just talked about giving your employees an applause or
Gold
nice
star.
Gold star.
Add a person.
Yeah, right.
add a person.
Attaboy.
Say that.
Okay, yeah, add a person. Sorry. My wife and I went to Subway last night, and I went in, got our sandwiches, and I just ordered something off the Subway series. I said, I want the Outlaw.
That's a good one.
Like the Outlaw.
That's a good one.
So, but they were so kind. Of course, when you do the Subway series, it shows you how it's made.
Right.
But your people were so nice. They basically, everything that was on the sandwich, they kept asking me, is it okay if we do it this way? And I just thought that was very nice. They kept asking. Now, it says we use pepper jack cheese. That okay with you? Sure.
Okay.
Peppers, onions, like on the board, that okay? Absolutely. So I just thought that was very nice that
they're supposed to ask
do that
and
way.
make sure that you want the recommended stuff on your sandwich.
Yeah.
So I like the Outlaw, but I like to add, I think it was jalapenos. And
What are the different ones? I ordered one here a while back. Don't remember which one it was. How many different ones are there?
There's 12 in store.
Oh, my gosh.
Online, I have no clue how many there are. Because we have all the professional athletes, sandwiches, and so forth.
Wow. Speaking of that, Subway's gone all out. They've always been very good marketers on the media. But boy, they got big stars nowadays, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They got a lot of big stars, and it's helping quite a bit. A lot of people don't know about those sandwiches online, but you have to have the app in order to order them.
Does Charles Barkley have a sandwich?
I think so.
Oh, I'll have to.
You better check that out.
I'll have to check that out. See what Charles has.
So yeah, I believe he does have a sandwich because he's in the commercials.
Oh,
He is.
a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's definitely got to have a sandwich, and if he's in the commercials.
Okay. Wow.
And I have to admit, I do wonder when I see Barkley and some of the others doing, 15 seconds of stardom, what that costs.
More than we make in a year.
Probably easily, right?
Yeah.
But boy, does it work. I mean, they've really, really ramped it up.
Yeah.
But with all those different sandwiches online and then the 12 different ones in the store, that's a lot of choices.
Yeah, and it can cause a little bit of confusion for us.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Employees have to learn a lot of things, don't they?
Right. Yeah. And, we have a bunch of classes we have to take before you can even step foot on the line. And it's like about 3 hours of classes, and then you can start work.
And you got to kind of apply those lessons to the actual hands-on.
But I've actually found out by them actually doing the courses, the employees come in and they're more comfortable with making food as opposed to, here you go, make a sandwich.
Yeah, here's how you do it. And that would be a high pressure because, let's face it, maybe there's 6-8 people in line, ordering sandwiches. There's a little pressure there.
Right.
I would think.
Right, and then once in a while, like when you guys have there's a game in town, there's lines sometimes that are 15, 20 people long.
Yeah.
I've seen it here in Bow where it goes all the way out the far west door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, This is going to be fun.
Yeah. The challenge is on.
Right.
But they always meet it, and it's always good, and it's always fresh.
Right.
All
It'll
right.
be even fresher once we get the meat slicers.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting, I think, to have that just sliced right there, right when you're making it. You can't get much fresher than that.
No, you can't get any fresher than that.
And is there a time they think they're shooting for that you're going to get those?
Well, we have a lot of stores to get those slicers out to, so they're rolling them out. I think it started on the East Coast, and so it'll just move its way across.
Yeah.
So,
and
us out here in the middle of nowhere, we're usually about last on the totem pole.
There's benefits to living here, and then there's a few drawbacks. But hey, it's already good, so it's not like, we're going to be dissatisfied until the slicer gets here, but we're going to be more satisfied after it gets here.
Yes.
It's going to be great. How about soups? This weather we're having.
Yes, we have soup. I have no idea what soup they're having today, but yeah, we have soup. I believe chili is back in stock. I'm not sure 100% though. But we have chicken noodle, broccoli and cheese, and potato.
And I see up there it says soup is on, so just walk in, find out what's cooking that day, and put it together with a great sandwich, a wrap, a breakfast sandwich. We don't talk about the breakfast as much as we should. I know you had an egg shortage there for a while, but...
Yep. And that's kind of, I think that's been fixed, but here and there, it's still a hit and miss on almost anything we get. The only thing I know that's promised is turkey, ham, and roast beef, because Subway has their own place.
Okay. They can control that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about workers? Are you okay? You need some more help?
We are looking for a lot of help to ramp up for summer and spring. We're going to start training for everybody for that time of the year. So, yeah, we're probably looking about hiring 4 to 5 people at least.
Okay. All right, going into the springtime. And pretty flexible hours?
Oh, yeah, we're really flexible. School comes first. If you have sporting events, we'll work around them. Church functions, we'll work around them, whatever you have. So if you only want to work 1 or 2 days a week, or 5 to 6 days a week, or if you want to be like me and work 7 days a week, then we have a job for you.
I don't know if you can get away with working them 24 hours, 7 days a week like you, but...
Literally, basically, I'm on the clock at 6 o'clock in the morning when I crawl out of bed, and about midnight or 1 is when I go to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the guy that's the owner, operator, and fixer.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was it the other night? I was glad I was actually up till 12 o'clock, but somebody actually placed an order for a catering order, and we have 15 minutes to respond.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm like, yeah, and it comes through at midnight. I'm like, well, it's a good thing I'm still awake.
And was that for the next day? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
wow.
for the 31st.
Oh, gosh.
So somebody was out and about and decided to have a event. But, yeah, it was a good thing I was up on the 30th till midnight doing paperwork.
Yeah. Now, that's what they call management, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're never off the clock. There's 2 days I get to shut my phone off, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah. Other than that, you're there.
Yeah, and I love those 2 days.
I bet. You look forward to those. Well, people look forward to coming in to Subway and having fresh-made sandwiches right in front of them. See it just like Brent described last night. You see it put together. You know what you're getting. You control what goes in there. And, of course, the fountain's ready for all the drinks and different things. You have bottled beverages as well, chips. It's all there. It's great to have it. Subway's been here a long time now.
Over 30 years.
That makes me feel kind of old. I remember when you guys came in.
I think
Grant,
there's pictures of that.
Yeah, I think we did a remote there 30 years ago. I'll let you present those, Matt.
Here you go. Here's for Employee of the Month.
Oh, wow. What? This is amazing. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Just go around town and hit everybody up.
So far, a steak and some Subway cookies, which are soft and chewy.
Man, pays to work hard, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna give you sandwich coupons, but I'm digging around in this truck and I can't find any coupons.
Thanks.
Yep, enjoy.
Yeah, well, that's good. That shows you, Brent, what happiness is when someone gives something to somebody else for their accomplishments.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think, again, if you want to chip in for anything else for Grant, that if you reach in your pocket and pull out some of your own greenbacks, it'll mean a lot.
Yeah.
So where's these cheeseburgers at? Because I've been listening all.
Yeah, I
all the way
don't know.
here.
Probably over.
We've had two different businesses award Grant with something for Employee of the Month, but the company that gives him Employee of the Month has yet to do anything for him.
Right. Well, like,
except just announce he is Employee of the Month.
Only in America.
You could give him VIP parking, like let him park right up by the door.
No?
For the entire month, so he doesn't have to walk across the ice. I don't know.
You could do some things like that. There's other things you can do and make sure he stays in shape. He lives in our neighborhood with Brent and I. We could get him involved in some snow shoveling and scooping and let him take part in that. It'd be an honor to have him.
Right, he can work on the ice on the way up from Lexington all the way to here.
Yeah, plenty of that going on. How are the roads?
After Lexington, it was a little bit icy here and there, so yeah,
some
slowed down
patches.
a little bit. So that's why I was a little late.
That's all right. We're here. And you guys are too. 7 days a week. Throw out those hours again, if you would,
We're
please.
open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday we open at 10 a.m. and close at 9 p.m.
All right. It's nice when you can come here and visit with us in person. We always appreciate it, but we always enjoy talking to you on the phone as well, and wish you a great 2023. I know there's a lot of different ways to consider success, but I think just doing what we do and trying to do the best we can is success in its own right, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
As long as you're happy with what you're doing.
Yep. And you'll be happy with what Subway's doing when you walk in like Brent did last night.
Right, yeah. Come
Thanks.
on in and get some fresh food.
All right. Thank you very much. Anything else for the show before we conclude? Do we cover everything?
I think so, yeah. Just a reminder again, we got high school basketball on the air for you tonight. Sandhills Thetford playing against South Loop and Arnold. We'll be there, have the games on the radio for you, girls and boys varsity games. Tipping around 5:30 or so tonight. We'll be live on the air with them, and we'll do the live video stream as well that you can access on the Sandhills Express Facebook and YouTube channel.
All right, Brent, my brother, thanks a lot.
You bet.
Thank you for the wonderful thank you card from James and Peggy Apperson down in Bella Vista, Arizona. It means so much.
Arkansas, but
did I say?
You said Arizona.
Oh, I said AR, and so I read it wrong. Sorry, Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah,
I know they're in Arkansas.
They are. Yes.
They're my adopted parents. I should know that.
Arizona, Arkansas, it's the same.
Oh golly, better get out of here.
Okay.